What's up guys, Fred here, and today I'm gonna show you how to create this kind of golden glitches, not glitch but golden effect. Just it looks like golden diamonds coming out from her sunglasses and just dropping down. And I'm gonna show you how to create this kind of effect so you can draw with gold basically. So what we're gonna do, let's go to Photoshop, and the first thing we need to do, we need to take this image here. And this is actually an image I found on unsplash.com. So it's just a website where you can find tons of free images. This is like, it looks like a diamond, kinda. That's why I chose it. So let's just make it bigger, like this, a little bit up. And let's press OK for now. So the first thing we need actually to do, we need to create a pattern from this image. And in order to do that, we need to do a few things. So first of all, let's take crop tool here. And we need to make this really small, like really small, something like that. Yeah, let's press OK. And of course we also need to make the image smaller. And another thing I want to tell you, when you crop the image, basically, let's say, let me just show you, let's say I'm cropping it, make sure this is here unchecked, because if this is checked and you crop the image, then half of the image is deleted automatically, because you see delete cropped pixels, that's what it says. Let's say make sure it's unchecked, so when you crop the image, you don't this part of the image doesn't get deleted. That's very important. Let's press OK. And now we need to make the image smaller, so let's choose this image, go to edit and free transform, and now we just we just make this smaller, like this. Okay, so make sure you see only this part of the image, so you don't see the empty part that you don't need, because we need only the glitchy part, I would say. It's not glitches, I forgot the word for it, but yeah, it looks like sun is shining and so on. So let's press OK. That's what we need. So now in order to create the pattern, first of all, let's take our move tool. Let's delete this layer because we don't need it. Okay, let's delete it. Now let's go to edit and define pattern. Let's press. And let's call it diamond, I would say. So now when you did that, let's go to File, New, and let's create a new file. And you can make it, it doesn't really matter, let's just press create. Just make sure it's a normal size of the file, because this is too small. So we use this project only to create the pattern, okay? And now we can use this pattern in any other of our projects. So basically, this is our new project. And let's, now we need to create the brush. So basically what we need to do for that, again, let's create a new layer and delete this one. Now we need to create a brush, and our brush is going to be a diamond shaped brush. So this is like diamonds, that's why in order to do that we can just draw it, or we can use actually a rectangle to create it. So for example, we can choose rounded rectangle tool and draw a rectangle like this, and you can hold shift when you do that in order to make sure it has like the width and height of the rectangle are the same size, like this. We have to make it really small. Okay, now we need to decrease the roundness of these rectangles. Basically, here we have this radius, and let's make it 5 pixels. Press enter. Okay, wait, it didn't work. Let's choose path selection tool. Let's select this, and again here, let's change it here. Go to properties panel and change it here 5 pixels. Yeah, now it worked. Perfect. And now when we did that, we need to basically rotate it. And in order to rotate it, we can just go to edit, free transform path, and then here we can put 90 degrees because that's what we need. Oh, okay, not 90, sorry, 45. Yeah, that's what we need. Let's press enter. Yes. Another thing we need to do now is again go to edit, free transform path, and make it a little smaller like this. So make the width a little less, so it looks like a rhombus. I don't know what's the shape called. Yeah, this shape. Let's press OK. Okay, that's already good. And also go to fill and choose just normal color and make it black. So now we have here this kind of black shape basically, and let's make it even smaller. Let's choose it, edit, again free transform path, or you can also use the hotkey. And again, it has to be like really small. Hold shift when you make it smaller so it keeps the right proportions. Now when you do that, go to edit and define brush preset. So when we do that, we're actually creating a brush like this. We're gonna call it diamond brush. Perfect. So now if we create a new layer, we take our brush tool, and here we're going to automatically have this diamond brush. If you don't see it here, you can always open brush settings panel, and if you don't have this panel here, brush settings, go to window and find it here, brush settings. Okay, and now you're going to see this here, and if I draw, for example, like I can press once and you can see it's drawing with diamonds. If I draw a long one, it's still drawing with diamonds, but we don't see it because they are too close to each other. So what we need to do now, first of all, here we see spacing. Let's make it bigger. If I make spacing bigger, look here what happens. We're already seeing the diamonds. Basically, it increases the spacing between the diamonds. If I draw now, perfect, we see the diamonds, right? Let's make it a little smaller like this. Yeah, this is nice. Now let's go to shape dynamics, and here we have size jitter. Let's also increase it to maximum. What basically this does, it helps to make sure that every size is different on our brush. And also when you choose that, also make sure this is on, and then you choose that. So okay, and if I draw now, see what happens. All of them are different size. That's what size jitter does. Another thing we need to do is angle jitter to make sure all of them are different angle. So for example, if I draw, you see they are not the same angle, while here they are the same angle. They're rotating. So we need to make it as random as possible. We also have here roundness jitter. We can also try this one, see how it works. No, I don't like it. Actually, make roundness jitter 0. We don't need it. Let's continue. Then we have here scattering. We also need this one. Scattering, let's increase it. It helps us to make sure that brushes are located on different, on a big distance between each other. For example, if I draw now, see what happens. Yeah, that looks like a diamond rush, I would say. And we can also increase the count a little bit. Let's see. Okay, that's fine. Let's decrease the spacing a little bit. Scatter, I mean. Okay, this already looks nice. That's actually what we need. So now when you did that, okay, let's make the scatter even less. Count, let's decrease the count. Okay, that's perfect. So now when you did that, let's delete this layer because it was just for testing purposes. Let's create a new layer. Let's turn off this one, and now we can start drawing. And it doesn't really matter what I am planning to draw. For example, let's choose one of the images and try to draw on the image. Let's see. Let's take this image, for example. Make it big, even bigger. Yeah, just as an example. Okay. Now let's create a new layer. For example, if I start drawing right now, so we're just drawing it like this, and it's, you know, basically, yeah, it's going like this. It's fine. We can also make it even more, basically. No, actually, that's fine. So what we need to do now? Now, let's press twice here on this layer. And right now, we need to choose here pattern overlay tool. And let's choose this pattern that we created, the last one. This is basically our diamonds pattern, right? Okay, perfect. Let's press OK now. So when we did that, now let's go to here, and also let's press twice again here on the empty space. Also, what you could do is press right and choose here blending options. It's the same thing. And here we have satin, basically. And we can play with that as well because satin gives kind of the metal color to it. So we just make apply still less. Let's play with it, see if it can, if it fits what we need. Let's make it overlay or screen. Let's make it screen. Now let's turn this off and on and see if anything changes. Not really. We can look here and see that nothing really changes. So I mean, sometimes it's good, sometimes it doesn't work that well, so it depends on the image and on the size of your brush and so on. Let's make the opacity bigger and see again. No, it doesn't really matter. Let's press cancel. Let's continue. So now when we did that, we need to go here and choose brightness contrast. And now before we increase the brightness and contrast, we need to make sure that this adjustment layer is connected only to our brush because we don't want to increase the brightness of the image behind. In order to do that, just go here to layers and make sure that this layer is located above this layer, basically where the layer we draw. Press right here on the empty place again and choose create clipping mask. Now you see an arrow like this. This means that it is connected to this layer below. Again, now press twice here on the sun, and if you increase the brightness, okay, wait, okay, why this is not working? Because we have a pattern overlay here. So in order to make sure this is going to work, let's press right here again on the empty place and choose convert to smart object. And now as you can see, it starts working. So let's go to this brightness again. So when I increase the brightness, see what happens. We see this kind of it's getting brighter. We can also increase the contrast to make it more, to give it a more golden look basically. So another thing we actually have to do, let's press twice here, and we should try here outer glow. Outer glow helps us to give it like a shining glow basically. And when you choose that, go here and choose golden color like this. So now we can play with these parameters. For example, we can make the size smaller basically, like this. Yeah, spread bigger, so something you can see it's already getting like gold. Opacity, we can make it even higher, size a little bit higher, and spread a little bit less. Yeah, something like that. And let's make the opacity also less, it's too much. Okay, that already looks nice, right? And let's now go and add some color overlay, and we're going to add some golden color like this. So just make sure you have here a yellow color selected, make sure this is overlay, and now we can play with opacity. And now when we did that, let's go back to outer glow because it looks too shiny, at least for me. That's what I feel like. Let's make the size even smaller, let's make it 2, and let's press OK. So now when you did that, as you can see, we have already this kind of golden effect, golden diamonds. And if you want to draw even more here, what you could actually do, you can press twice here. And when you press twice here, what actually happens, by twice I mean on the image exactly, not here, not on the text, but on the image. So when you press twice there, the original layer opens where we were drawing, and we can take the brush tool and continue drawing again. For example, we can make it like this. You know, we can just play with it. Okay, and now if I save this, so go to file and save, it's automatically going to appear on the other file as well. So if I open the other file, you can see that it's here as well. Okay, right now the flow of it doesn't look that good, because if you look here, for example, you see it's getting like it has the right flow, like physically it's going from the cheeks down to the neck and so on. But here it's just, you know, the flow is wrong. But in general, you go to what I mean, right? I mean, like, I hope you understood how to create this effect. That was the goal of this tutorial, and I really hope you liked it, so you can use it on your other projects. For example, I used it here once. Another project I used it is this one. I also use it here to create golden effect again. And you can play with the brush size. Okay, I also use it here, as you can see. So you just have to get creative and try to play with it. That's it, guys, and I hope you liked this tutorial, and see you to the next lesson. Bye.